If you run a local service business, you've probably stared at a $1,000 marketing invoice, wondering exactly what you're paying for. Local visibility is effective when it connects you with people in your specific service area who are ready to book a job right now. Today, we are going to strip away the agency jargon. We are going to evaluate local online visibility strictly as a math equation. Keep in mind, this specific breakdown is built for appointment-based operations, plumbers and contractors, local medical clinics, and home service providers who rely heavily on local geographic markets to survive. By calculating a specific break-even point for your digital presence, you can manage your marketing as a financial asset and stop losing revenue to unmeasured costs. Every marketing budget requires you to make a trade-off between two competing priorities: the speed of your results versus the longevity of your asset. This quadrant chart plots time to results against asset longevity. Paid ads drop in the bottom left, fast leads but zero equity when turned off. Local SEO sits top right, slow to start but builds compounding, lasting equity over years. Because it functions as a structural asset, organic visibility won't solve a cash flow emergency tomorrow. But organic visibility is exactly how you successfully capture and hold a local geographic market over the long haul. To figure out if building that asset makes sense right now, we need to shift the focus from getting more traffic to covering the monthly agency retainer. This is a standard math scorecard to evaluate that exact cost. To find your break-even point, you only need to look at three variables. First, your average job value. If one new inquiry becomes a paying customer, how much top-line revenue does that typically generate for your business? Second, your internal close rate. Out of 10 qualified people who call your office or fill out a form, how many actually sign a contract or book an appointment? Let's run a baseline scenario. Say your average job value is $1,000, and you're looking at a standard monthly marketing retainer of $1,000. With those margins, closing just 1 or 2 extra jobs per month completely covers the entire cost of the agency. Everything after that first couple of jobs is margin. Over a 12-month period, your monthly marketing cost stays flat, but as your local visibility compounds, the volume of closed jobs stacking on top of that fixed cost scales up. You don't need a massive influx of thousands of visitors to make the math work. When you only need a fraction of incoming inquiries to turn a profit, the financial risk of hiring a provider drops significantly. But remember, the math only truly works if your internal operations are actually built to process those leads. If you achieve peak visibility and 50 new people try to reach you, but your staff is too busy to answer the phone, follow up, or fulfill the jobs, that traffic is entirely wasted. You also have to maintain a reliable internal system for generating customer reviews. An agency can optimize your profile, but they cannot legally manufacture the trust signals that real customers leave after a completed job. And if your team is only closing 1 out of every 10 highly qualified inbound calls, that is an operational failure, not a marketing failure. Your online presence acts strictly as an amplifier. If your intake process or service delivery is flawed, driving more traffic will just accelerate bad reviews and churn your investment. Assuming your operations are solid, you need a strict set of criteria to audit your marketing provider once the campaign hits the 6-month maturity mark. This comparison table breaks down the difference between what a reliable agency reports and what a failing one uses to hide. On the left, we have vanity metrics, and on the right, revenue metrics. Red flags sit in the vanity column. If your monthly report focuses exclusively on rankings for a few obscure keywords, but gives you absolutely zero data on call volume or form submissions, you have a problem. Positive indicators are clear revenue metrics. You want to see an upward trend in Google Maps direction requests, direct phone calls, and an increase in customers explicitly telling you they found you on Google. If you are paying the same fee every month, but those real-world inquiries stay entirely flat for a full quarter, the strategy has failed and it's time to cut your losses. The ultimate purpose of digital visibility is to drive a physical inquiry. Anything distracting from that goal is an expensive liability for your business. To decide if you should sign a contract today, wait a few months, or pivot to ads, you need to match the marketing tactic to your current business phase. This flowchart maps out the decision. For an established pro with a defined local area and stable operations, investing in a retainer is the logical move. But if you're an early tester with unproven services or immediate cash needs, hold off and run ads. A tactic that works perfectly for a 10-year-old company might bankrupt a brand new startup if deployed at the wrong time. Committing to organic visibility is a test of your long-term geographic loyalty. It rewards the businesses that plan to dig in and dominate their specific zip codes for years. It's also worth noting that organic growth and paid ads are completely compatible. They just cover completely different time horizons. Before you've signed any marketing contract, calculate your exact average job value and your true internal close rate. Once you know those numbers, local SEO functions as a form of long-term digital equity for your service business.